The Airbus A380 is the largest jet airliner ever built and is one of the first double-decker passenger aircraft. First flight took place from Toulouse, France on the 27th of April 2005 and led to a flight test programme involving 5 Airbus A380s. Service entry with launch customer Singapore Airlines is set for the 25th of October 2007. Total orders for the Airbus A380 stand at 159 from 16 customers. 2 variants of the Airbus A380 are currently offered, this 500-seater passenger version and a freighter, the Airbus A380F. Stretch versions of the A380 and the A380F are both available. There are 2 engine options for the Airbus A380, the Rolls-Royce Trent 900 and the General Electric Pratt & Whitney GP7200, each producing £74,000 to £84,000 of thrust. The first Airbus A380s are powered by the Rolls-Royce engine, which was certified in October 2004. The GP7200 was certified in December 2005. As with all modern Airbus types, the Airbus A380 is controlled by a fully fly-by-wire control system. This means that instead of applying manual inputs to the aircraft, it is all done by a computer. The upper fuselage of the aircraft is constructed with a new aluminium/glass fibre material, Glare, which is lighter than aluminium and much more resistant to fatigue. Conceived as the response to the Boeing 747, the Airbus A380 development programme was officially launched in June 1994 with development of the A380. At one time, Airbus even considered a flying wing design for the Airbus A380, but this was abandoned for the more traditional configurations, which led eventually to the current oval double-deck section. Development costs of the Airbus A380 were initially put at $8 billion, but have risen to $12.2 billion. The Airbus A380 made its first traditional flight to Medellin, Colombia, on the 10th of January 2006 to test engine performance at high airport altitude. Its first arrival in North America came on February the 6th, when an Airbus A380 landed in Alcudic, Nunavut, for cold weather testing. Next, we're talking about the Airbus A320 and its fly-by-wire system. The Airbus A320 was the first fly-by-wire aircraft. Fly-by-wire is a computer in the aircraft. Instead of putting instant inputs to the control, before the aircraft is going to perform its manoeuvre, it goes through a computer that determines if it's safe or not. This was due to recent incidents due to pilot error. This was one of the best known possible solutions to the problem and was seen as one of the greatest inventions of all time by Airbus manufacturers and buyers. This was seen as a step forward in aircraft safety, but a new system never comes without failure. When an Airbus A320 operated by launch customer Air France was to conduct a flyby at one of Paris's most popular airshow, Air France 296 or AFR 296 took off from Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport. The captain knew that it would be a risky flight, but with one of the best pilots in the job at the controls, they did not think much about it. The pilots turned off the fly-by-wire as it would not let the plane go so close to the ground without the landing gear extended. As they approached the airshow, there was press storming into the cockpit. They knew it was a busy flight. When they were on finals to the airport, nearly at the airport, then got clearance to do a flyby. So then, when the Collision Avoidance System, RAAS or RAS, confirmed the runway and the TCAS was clear, Traffic Collision Avoidance System, they disengaged the autopilot and made sure that they had full control. Everything was going to plan. As press filmed on the ground of the airshow, everything was going fine, until the first officer shouted, "Go around." The captain looked up and there was very high trees. Then, without thinking, the captain pulled up on the stick, and a few seconds later, the first officer put the thrust levers in toga, take-off go-around, used for taking off and for missed landings/approaches. In the cabin, people saw the ground approaching from their window. Not putting the levers in toga earlier made the aircraft shout, "Stall, stall," which makes the pilots know that they are falling out of the sky. After the plane crashed into trees, 3 people died and several were badly injured. The crash was a shock to their colleagues at Airbus and was immediately investigated. This will be remembered as one of the most deadly Airbus crashes. Airbus then made the system tamper-free and travel would be more safe than ever before, since there has been no crashes involving fly-by-wire since the accident. The Airbus aircraft is now known as one of the most popular aircraft manufacturer in the world. Thank you for listening to Peter's Plane Podcast. See you next time.